she brought a cat to the interview. Literally showed up with a cat.
Yeah. And then she's like, and the interviewer didn't mind. I'm like, did you get the job? And she's like, no.
Hello, welcome to Root Cause For the Needs podcast, where we're getting at the root cause of homelessness. Today's root cause we're discussing is thinking poor. You may have heard of think rich or think poor, maybe even think middle class. I don't know.
Have you heard of it?
Today.
All right.
Well, I've heard of it before. There's books about that, but we're going to talk specifically about how people thinking poor continues the cycle of homelessness.
It's a way of thinking that we see all the time, and then to us it's like a little bit foreign. We're like, what are you doing? What are you thinking about? But it's so like natural, for them to head in a direction that just leads to like more obstacles against them. And it's just kind of, it's an interesting thing to witness from the outside. And then also, adjusting that thought process isn't overly difficult. If they take the leap of faith or they have a mentor or something. So it's interesting to talk about what we've seen.
Yeah. So thinking poor, meaning people who are poor, how they think. What would it mean?
I put it to like addicted to situation, addicted to decisions that just do not lead to a positive outcome. It's just like, why'd you do that? And it's like, oh, I just thought this would be great. And you're like, there's no way you can sit back and realistically think that if you think one, maybe two steps ahead, that this is going to have a good outcome. Like, there's no way, like, you went through that analysis.
Yeah.
And they're the kindest, most joyful, wonderful people, but there's just not a filtered process. So that what ends up repeating the cycle, ending in poor decisions. It's so funny. Yeah. Poor decisions have a poor outcome, and we can laugh about it.
I've got a few examples in mind that are, you could almost laugh at like what's happening, but then you also have to remember, well, let me back up. I have a few examples in mind, but like, what example do you have in mind?
I have hundreds of examples. I have the one where we went to women's and children's shelter 2 Fridays ago. It was such a wonderful night. We're in California. The weather's great. We were outdoors. And Julia, the girl that we work with, had worked really hard with this other artist to clean this huge bench thing off. It's like a huge thing. And they cleaned it. They painted the whole thing. And then they stenciled a mural that the kids were going to paint. And I thought, this is going to turn out horrible. They did a really good job prepping it. And prep is like half the battle. And I'm like, oh, these kids are going to destroy this. That's my low feeling of, in any case, I was totally wrong. It turned out really great. But anyway, one of the kids was like, hey, I want to give haircuts. Like, that's my thing. I was just talking to him. He's a teenager, and he's surrounded by women. He's in a women's facility, but he's a kid, so he can stay there till he's 18 or 2 years. I think they're allowed to be there. So I immediately start talking to you because, like, you're an anomaly. You're a guy I can talk to. So he tells me what his career goals. He wants to give haircuts, and I can tell he's got a really cool fade and all this other stuff. And then I see all the kids that we're doing all have cool fades, these cool kid haircuts. And I go, did you cut all these kids' hair? And he goes, yeah, I cut every one of them. There's like 20 kids there. He literally had, on his time there at the shelter, cut these kids' haircut. And I'm like, so you got clippers? He's like, yeah. I'm like, cut my hair. So anyway, he gave me a haircut like a 12-year-old should have, not an old man.
I don't know. It wasn't bad. I was there. It was cool.
He gave me this cool fade, but anyway, Anyway, I took one for the team, and I really love this kid. He's a great kid. But as he's cutting my hair, I see this huge tattoo on his arm. It says Jennifer on it, and I'm like, oh, who's Jennifer? And what, Anyway, it's his mom, which is admirable. But he's 16. He wants to find a job over summer because he's stuck at the women's shelter and he doesn't want to be there all summer.
Yeah.
But he wants to be a barber, and I'm like, have you looked into cosmetology school? And he's like, no, I heard it's expensive. Well, I go, well, you know, how much your tattoo cost? He's like $200. And I'm like, that's $200 that could have gone into cosmetology school,
Yeah.
you know, and he looks
Never
at me,
crossed his mind.
but not only did it not cross his mind, he just looked at me like, but it's my mom's name. I had to do it, you know, and, you know, I'm like, because he's motivated, he's got ambitions, and then he sees the hurdle of being financial, but he doesn't make any connection that he just spent $200 on a tattoo with his mom's name on it.
Wow.
That
Yeah.
that you know, he could have wrote her a thank you card or done something else to say how much he appreciated his mom. And
He
I'm
could
like,
have written a thank you card.
yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Like his mom was
Yeah.
like, wow, you know, and maybe every time she sees it, and I'm sure they've been through an absolute lot. I'm sure they have. But like a mom would love to see their kid succeed. Like him
Yeah.
getting through cosmetology school and getting a job, giving haircuts, like living out his dream, um, would probably fill her heart more than the tattoo, or maybe not.
Yeah.
Like she potentially, and we've seen this before. They look at you like, of course he got a tattoo. I love it. That was the best investment he could have ever made. Like that was the greatest thing. And you're just like, oh, you know. So that's my example. What do you
Another
got?
situation. Well, we had recently, you know this story too. We had this one interview set up for a career job for this girl. It was entry level, but it would be leading to a great career. And we had the whole thing set up, made sure she had a ride, everything. And there were two things. One, it turns out the hours didn't even work because you had to be there full time and
Oh
she was
yeah,
still in high school.
yeah.
So that was one thing. Which, like, okay, like, you know, that's a simple mistake. Anyone could have kind of made that. And the other one we laugh about, she brought a cat to the interview. Literally showed up with a cat.
Yeah.
Which, like, anyone.
And then she's like, and the interviewer didn't mind. I'm like, did you get the job? And she's like, no. I go, I think that's a sign that they did mind. They just didn't want to tell you.
Yeah. And now we have better, like.
I forgot about that. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, now when we send kids to go on interviews and stuff, we, you know, specify, like, don't bring any pets.
We have a chapter in our lesson plan because we do this whole career day, and one chapter is called "Don't Bring Your Cat to the Interview."
Yeah, it's like part of the guiding principles.
It's part of our guiding principles.
Don't bring a cat.
You know.
Yeah. And unfortunately, like, she ended up having to give up the cat because she wasn't able to take care of the cat, which, like, anyone could have thought that might happen. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess not anyone, but someone not thinking with a, you know, the, what did we call it? Poor thinking poor. Someone who's not thinking poor, like, would have thought of don't bring a cat to an interview.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot of stuff that we come across where we think this is common knowledge. You're born with this knowledge.
yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff that you're just not born with. You are literally being taught and equipped by your mentors and the people around you to make these better decisions. And some of it, you say it's like common sense, but it's not. It's not like it's learned. There's a lot of it that's learned. And it was so funny because she got a dog later. You know?
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know.
Well,
that.
her mom didn't. Sometimes she lives with her mom, sometimes not, or
Okay.
whatever. But they got a dog. They brought it to an event. The dog had massive fleas. It was a little dog. The dog had massive fleas.
I remember seeing that dog.
And I had no idea because
That's
I
right.
felt so bad for the dog. We're having an event. It's such a distraction. And now, you know, we don't want everybody to get fleas. So I go across the street from where the event was, and they were selling flea collars. And they're like $25 for the cheapest one. They weren't cheap. And I was like, you know, this is a burden. This is a liability. But I can't tell you how many times people are getting their life squared away. They go to shelter. They're trying to turn things around, and then they get a dog, a big dog. They'll get a big dog, and it's just like you're not feeding yourself. Like you're not. You cannot feed yourself. You can't feed your kids. Your kids want to, but they're all happy. They're all just like, oh, look at our dog. This is so great. This is the greatest thing ever. And I was like, no.
Yeah. No, we do see, like, unfortunately, like, more often than not. Well, not more often than not, but more often than you'd expect. Like, families that are literally homeless or living in shelters or just got out of a shelter getting a dog.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's nothing against dogs. It's more just like,
There's nothing against dogs. We love dogs.
yeah. And it's good to have a dog, it gets you out of the house. You have to walk the dog, but there's so many costs to a dog, like especially the dogs they're getting because it's like a lot of times it's a shelter dog or untrained dog or whatever it is. And like this dog is like now going to pee on the carpet
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
landlord's going to get upset. They're going to get evicted. Like there's just a whole bunch of things. You have to feed the dog and you're paying at least $100 for a bag of dog food like every month. And you can't even keep the lights on. It's like, you're totally hitting it on the head, like the nail on the head. It's not always common sense,
But
things that you
I think
think.
that's the poor thinking, which is you think you hear the buzzword therapy dog. Like this dog is going to make me feel better.
Mm.
And it does, dude. There's nothing better than a dog, you know? But then it becomes burden. Then it becomes another addition. And all that feel good feeling when it poops on your carpet, you know, and your landlord's ticked or you can't live in the shelter or now your options are completely limited because you added this extra burden. Any therapy that would have gave you is out the window, and there's just not looking to the next. It's literally one step ahead. It's like one step thinking, not 2, 3, 4, where I want to be in 5 years. It's getting that one step. And that's why talking with the kids is quite a bit easier. Like as they're starting to grow up, we're seeing these kids at like 11 and 12. They're watching and stuff like that. But now I can see through the interactions that you're creating, Allie, the training and different stuff like that, to where they're like, okay, yeah, there's a different path to where I can try to, one, take care of myself, and then two, try to be a contributor. And they'll start to see a difference, not be judgmental against their parents and stuff, but sometimes they are. Like I've seen it. They're like, wow, we just moved out of the shelter. We got our own place. I thought things were going okay. And then my mom moved in 2 other families. And we went from, you know, a 1 bedroom where 4 of us are living in a 1 bedroom to now there's 11 of us. And he's like, I thought we were just, and so you can see them, you know, adjusting their parameter, maybe changing their thinking.
Mm.
And that's why it's really important because at that point in time, you know, you don't want them to self-medicate because they're depressed. You don't want them to join gangs. You don't want them to do bad stuff. But it's a real fragile time when you're adjusting from that. Like, I guess ignorance can be bliss at times.
Mm.
And, you know, you want to gain knowledge, but that also can discourage you too. So,
Hmm.
anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you say fragile. Like I do see it's like it could be fragile in both directions. Fragile to continue that poor thinking or like, moldable
Yeah.
to break that thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking it just out loud right now because we have kids that are teenagers that have been in the program for a bit of time and they really need more mentoring. Like one of the kids I was with today, you know, he's thinking about joining the Navy. He's a bit overweight, so he has to adjust, you know, to do that. It's a potentially good option for him, but he really needs it. And so he talks to me because he needs like some input that he's not going to get anywhere else. And we have a lot of these kids that are like that. And we need to get some more volunteers that could be in the space and time where they can really have those conversations. It's totally rewarding
Yeah.
to like capture their attention and be able to give them input and then also a little bit of walking with them. So I talked to one of the kids next week. I'm going to meet with him and help him do some interviewing and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah. But we just need to keep doing more of that, you know, because that's where the change comes. And if it doesn't come, because, you know, trying to get a job, it's a numbers game and there's a lot of rejection, you know. So if you have a parent that doesn't think about those things, thinks poorly, so to speak, they're not talking about that rejection because they just avoided it all. Like they're just not even living in that space. So they can't relate at all. It's surprising to me how many times I have to tell kids, like, no. I said, hey, are you looking for a job? And they go, yeah, I filled out an application and I didn't get the job. I'm like, one? And they're like, yeah, one. I filled out one and I didn't get the job. I'm so bummed out. I'm like, dude, you got to fill out 100, you know?
Yeah.
And they just don't know. And then being rejected that many times is heartache. I applied for Wendy's when I was a kid and my 2 idiot friends got the job and I didn't. And I'm still bitter. Now, did you hear Nathan? My
Yeah.
son Nathan is applying for Wendy's. He's just he's gonna get the job and like, in your face, Dad.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
yeah.
There you go.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. Well, also a lot of it is who
And
you
then I'll
know.
buy the Wendy's
Oh my gosh.
and fire him. No, I'm just kidding.
That'd be crazy. But anyway, yeah. Though there's well, also right now it's who you know, but people that are where what I see a lot right now is when we help make a connection for these kids, especially ones that are like a little more reliable, like that have been with us longer. Like we just helped a kid get a job at Regal,
Yeah.
which is so exciting. And Regal's been partnered with us, and a few of them have been volunteering, which is really awesome. And all it took was us just being like, hey, this kid's applying. Can you keep an eye out for his application? And they did. He interviewed and he got the job,
Yeah.
which, you know, if he had just applied and not known anybody, like, who
It's
knows if
hard.
he would
It's
have got
hard.
it.
They're all fighting over those summer jobs right now. So it was cool that we had a stake in that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but like, it's not like he was thinking, hey, I need to connect with the leaders of For the Need so they can refer me to this other thing. Like, we had to think proactively and be like, what gap is going to be here? Like, how can we actually make this connection for this kid?
Mm-hmm.
And like, so many kids just don't have that at all. And you're right. Like, there's more kids even in our programs that need more of that attention.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we're going to grow in that. And like, you know, as more people watching come and join us,
Yeah.
and can be this. It's
Well,
so rewarding.
I
Like,
was talking to the
yeah.
kid today. We're working on his car that we helped him get, and that car needs constant work, but it's a great reason for me and him to meet together, and I just love it. And so he came over today with his broken car, and how that car has not burned to the ground so many times. It's a miracle of God. But I talked to him today. I said, hey, next week I'm going to go meet with this other kid. Do you think if you have a free day, you'd come? He's like, yeah, I'll go.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so like I think getting these kids that have gotten jobs, because he got a job. I took him to
Mhm.
his interview. It was so great for him, but it was even greater for me to
Mhm.
wait. So I'm appealing to people who want to volunteer. Like it is such a great feeling. You do not have to take kids to interviews. It could just be guiding them a little bit, getting them out of this poor thinking. It's pretty
Yeah.
basic and easy, but doing these other things, but getting this other young guy, I don't want to mention his name, to help spur on the next group. That's
Yeah.
the whole vision of them giving back and inspiring them in the success they've had,
Mhm.
and showing the pathway and being the mentor and the example. We're seeing that so much. It's so funny because Nathan, our son, my son, your brother, um, is such a great mentor. But I see all the kids that are in his group. You notice they all have long hair.
Yeah, like
They
half
all
of them.
have long hair.
Couple of them.
And I said to one of them, I go, are you trying to be like Nathan? And he's like, yeah, I am.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's kind of cute.
yeah.
That's super cute. Wow.
Yeah, it's so cool. So
Aw.
we'll know for sure when Nathan's talking about getting his haircut real short, and we'll see if they follow. But that's what it is, and it's so encouraging.
Wow.
You know?
That's really cool to hear that.
Yeah,
Yeah. You can kind of see like these kids look up to the mentors. You're right. It doesn't take much. It just takes being there to, you know, help build some of the common sense
yeah,
that wasn't really there before.
yeah. And I'd say, to end the conversation is the thinking is poor. We've seen, poor decisions, poor judgments. Not poor spirited people, not people that don't have a lot of love, just not equipped with thinking that one step ahead. And with the kids, we have an influence. We have a captive audience.
Mhm.
It's not like kids that are helicopter parented where they're so tired of input. These kids want input, and they can get that rich. It's not even rich, it's wealthy.
Hmm.
It doesn't have to do with money. It has to do with being able to take care of yourself, being able to give back, and that feeling you get from it. And I think it's a great topic, how to go from poor thinking to wealthy thinking.
Yep.
And I'm happy to have it with you, Allie.
Well, thanks. It's been really great. It's interesting to hear like your perspective and how we kind of see both kind of the same things. And I love seeing the impact. I mean, even as a young person, I feel like this one kid who I helped connect to Regal, like I feel proud, like as though it was my own kid, even though I'm only like 25
Yeah.
and he's like not that much younger. So it means a lot, like to see these kids coming from the kind of thinking they have to the kind of thinking they can have in the future, and just seeing how big of an impact it's making on them. It's
Yeah.
been really awesome.
Well, it's not your age, like you're their parent, but you have put a lot of work into this. Like you have dedicated your heart, you put
Yeah.
a lot of time and energy, and so to see the fruit of your labor, it's gotta feel great. And we need more of it. We
Yeah.
want to see more of it.
More to
And
come.
yeah,
Woo.
we need more than 25 people watching this podcast.
Yeah, share this with your friends.
Share this with your friends.
Comment below.
We're making a difference, and be a part of that difference.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time.